Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Jody Misiak. Today, I want to share a little bit about struggles because that seems to be the theme I've been kind of talking about here and there because I've definitely had some struggles and challenges, and things like that. And now I'm at kind of on I shouldn't say this because I don't want to jinx it, but I feel like we're emerging from the challenges and struggles and moving into a new phase. So now being on the other side of it, I am reminded that it's in our struggles that we find our strength, and we become stronger. So with having so much, and it hasn't even been that, in my opinion, I know there's a lot more people out there going through bigger struggles, but when we're in our own personal struggles, it feels like we're alone and that it's heavy and oh, we're never going to get out of it. It's why me? And it can be really messy in there. And it can just feel oh, why is life such a struggle or a challenge right now? And in my personal struggles, I have reconnected and recommitted to myself and taking care of myself. So I've looked at my self-care and what is it that I really need right now? How can I make more time for myself? Even though I have a whole day devoted to me, it doesn't always happen because with 2 kids and things, sometimes I have to change things up. I also can get distracted and do something around the house like dishes or, laundry is always a thing. It's non-stop. We're always wearing clothes, right? We're always doing laundry. Same with dishes. We're always eating. My husband always say if we didn't have to eat or feed ourselves, we'd have so much more time with our day between the cooking, because we cook everything from scratch or a lot. I shouldn't say all of it anymore, but a lot of it we cook from scratch, and there's dishes. Anyways, we put a lot of energy into eating, so we're oh man, think about all the time we didn't have if we didn't have to eat. Anyways, so I really recommitted to myself. But if it wasn't for the struggles, I might not have, I might have just kept going because, anyways, the struggles really helped me realize that I needed to change something and, add stuff really, right? So that's, I mentioned another one, I got my little trampoline out, my little rebounder, and started rebounding. So our struggles can feel really, I was not great, but it's that's not even saying, our struggles can be really frustrating, and we can get really, down and bummed out and just hate life when struggles and challenges are popping up in our life, especially if it's one after the other, and you don't feel like you're catching a break. However, it's in those moments that we can find that strength. We can come out stronger on the other side. Because it's wait a second, we can really use that time. Also, going through a struggles and challenges, and you get to the other side, be wow, I did overcome that. Look at me. You can see that you can do it, that you can make it through to the other side. And if you're in the middle of one right now, it might feel hard, but know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is a side where you will wake up one day and be wow, that did make me stronger, and look who I've become because of it. And one of the things that has helped me with a lot of my struggles, especially recently, is knowing what to do. So I have a toolbox of awesomeness to do, and I've gathered them all up along the way. And I share about them here and there in this podcast and different things. So I'm not going to go through them there's so many different things to do. And everything, you got to find what works for you. But it's having a toolbox to tools to fall back on when life gets rocky. It's just having a support system, having people to reach out to when you feel like you're sinking, you're drowning and you're I need to reach for somebody to have support, talk to somebody. It's very important to have people in your life to reach out to, just like tools. So it's having things to help you. Okay, I said I was going to share, but I'm going to share 3 things: meditation, yoga, and tapping. Those are 3 main things that I lean on almost daily. And tapping is a new, like EFT, emotional freedom technique, is one that I was doing before we moved and that I kind of tried to get back into when we moved, and I just didn't. But now I'm like, I need to do it again. Like I felt called to add that into my daily repertoire of things to do for me and take care of me, and meditation and yoga. Oh, and sorry, one more, journaling. I don't journal daily, but I have committed myself to showing up consistently I actually bought myself a new journal, a beautiful journal, to be excited because summer break is right around the corner. And I want to, like, I know how summer break goes in our house now. We've been there, we've done that. And I am going to make a commitment to myself to show up every single day, even if it's just a page or a couple lines to check in with me in my journal every single day. So I brought a beautiful one that inspires me and just like warms my heart when I see it. And I'm excited to write in it. And it's going to be my summertime journal where I just get to put, like, if I'm frustrated, or things are going good, like anything that's showing up. And because I know how important it is, but life can get busy and we can forget. So it's having tools to lean on when things go haywire, or if you know what works or things to support you. Like for me, I said with summer break is coming up, I am putting tools in place to make sure that I can take care of myself while taking care of my children over summer break and having fun and enjoying it along the way. So it's just having a couple things. Like we learn so much about ourselves when we have challenges and struggles show up. You might look like a hot mess. Things might look crazy. It might go, oh my goodness, like things are falling apart. But at the end, when things come back together, it's like, wow, I just did that. Like I got through it. Or you picked up new techniques and tools, or maybe you met new friends because you had to join a support group to get through it. Whatever it may be, things happen for a reason. And I know struggles and challenges are not fun. In fact, sometimes they're frustrating and angry and just maddening. But they're there to help strengthen us, help us grow, help us show us how amazing we are, how strong we are to come through. And I just had this pop up in my head, actually. And I know I've mentioned it before on different episodes, but my son didn't sleep for 2 years. Holy crap. Like we didn't even know how bad it was when we were in the middle of it. That's how bad it was. It was a year after he started sleeping through the night that we started picking up the pieces. In my opinion, that was the struggle. That was the challenging part. It was the year after, reconnecting with friends and things like that. But I feel like I had so much self-care activities going on, like my toolbox. Holy molies. That's where a lot of my tools started from. I picked them up from there. I read so many personal development books, self-help books, just motivational books. Just something to grab onto to stay focused in a positive way when I felt inside I was falling apart. And all those things, like when I came out of it after that other year, the recovery year, I was like, yes, like it was good. And I was finally at a place actually where I started following my heart even more. And then we moved like across the country because that's where, my heart is. Well, obviously my heart's with my husband and my children, but like the mountains and the ocean were calling. And it was after all that I could finally be true to who I was, or who I am, sorry. And it's amazing what can happen in the struggles and the challenges. And again, like if you're in the middle of it, you're probably like, stop, like this is insane. There is there is a moment where you'll finally be able to breathe again. And maybe you do need some heavy duty support, depending on what the challenge and struggles are. Some challenges, are tiny or little, like they're little bumps in the road, or a little, it's like a flat tire. It's a flat tire versus like your car completely got totaled. or, like just so many different things, like so many different challenges and struggles along our way. And like I said, some are big, some are small, some can feel big. And, you look at other people, you're like, okay, maybe it wasn't so big, but it still feels big to you. And that's okay too. We all have them. And that is a time to really look within, get to know yourself better, send yourself some love, and know that this is where you're building up your muscles. That's definitely where I built my self-love muscles up. I had to dig very deep into the well of my self-love well when my son was not sleeping through the night. And like I said, the year after. And it's so fun because not everybody around you will get it either. Not everybody will get your struggles and challenges. Not everybody will support you when you're like, all I need is some help. Like, why aren't you helping me? They might not get it. They might not see it. They might think you're stronger than you feel you're strong, and just so many different things. And it's reaching out for help and support where you can, loving support, not the ones that are going to put you down. And when you get to the other side, it's amazing how much you'll realize your strengths and who you really are. Sometimes it takes a challenge or a struggle to really shine light on a talent we have, or on a really cool thing that we have. Like, something might happen and you're like, you have to step up and show up in a way you've never showed up before. And you're like, oh, and it feels good. You're like, oh, I never knew I had that in me. And you can use that to move forward in your life. So, like I've said, struggles and challenges happen to everybody. It's how we look at them, it's how we handle them, and it's how we move through them that really make us who we are, and really helps and really has us focus on where we're going, or help us move forward where we're going, and, guide us towards the life we really want and are meant to live. So I send you so, so much love. Sending you a big hug if you're in the middle of one of your struggles or challenges right now. And know that you've got this. I'm cheering you on. If you need support, reach out to me or to somebody that you feel comfortable with. And know that you're not alone on this journey, the self-love journey and the journey of life. You've got this. And there's so many amazing people out there around you, cheering you on, wanting the best for you. So reach out and ask for help, and know that you are stronger than this challenge or struggle, and you've got this. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye for now.